think it's about equal. You know what I mean? Like quite a few of the women that I dated was strictly from cold approach, and I would see them on the street. I remember my guy Rich. We had a trip in Santa Marta, and we were sitting down at this restaurant, Punta. What is it? Punto Marino, something like that. Rodadero Beach in Santa Marta. We sitting there vibing, watching the NBA finals, and some chicks walk by on the beach. And I'm like, yo, you see that? He's like, yeah. I'm like, you want to see if they want to come up here and take a shot with us? He's like, bro, you know Spanish, holla at them. So I asked him, hey, y'all want to come take a shot? Bro, chicks came up there, took a shot with us, spent the rest of the night with us. You know what I mean? One of the girls was like, hey, you like to smoke? I was like, yeah. She is like, well, I got some. Let's go smoke on the beach. I said, I'll do you
Wow.
one better. I'll match you. Let's go. And we literally just vibed the whole night like that. And I actually ended up dating this girl for quite a while. She was definitely on the team for a second. So I think
Wow.
the approachability is there in any of those countries because if a woman sees an attractive man the same way as a man, you see an attractive woman, you're gonna want to approach them. You're gonna want to say something. But I would definitely say wait to see if you get some choosing signals and don't come across as that thirsty guy trying to holler at everything you see. So
Yeah, I would agree. I used to strictly rely on choosing signals, but as I got back into my cold approaching habits, I still will approach if I feel like I just have to. But I look for body language because I don't care what nobody says. If a chick is single and she's wanting to mingle, even if she doesn't see you, her body language comes off in a way that makes her available for men to cold approach her.
right.
Versus women that aren't looking for that. So where have you've been to Peru, Uruguay, Argentina, Colombia, Brazil. Where else have you been to in Latin America?
Uh just those places. Yeah, you named them. Brazil, Uruguay, Argentina, Peru, Colombia. And then I did a brief little couple days in Costa Rica, but hated it. But of course, that's Central America. But it's pretty much the depth of my travels outside of the states, other than some Caribbean islands and stuff on cruises. So,
I remember seeing that. So, would you say that Colombians are the most approachable out of all those places in Latin America you went to?
I think so. I would definitely say so because I remember I was like, okay, these are some examples of how understanding the culture can affect and change your experience. There was one time where I took a trip to Mexico. I come back with some Mexican pesos, and I'm like, what the hell am I going to do with this? I might as well exchange it into Colombian pesos. So I'm walking around looking for an exchange house that can do this transaction, and I'm asking people on the street, and I'm getting frustrated because I feel like I'm getting the runaround. Everybody's like, oh, well, try this place, or well, maybe you should try this place over here. And I'm running around the city all day, right? Now I'm getting frustrated. Like, why doesn't anybody know where the hell, you know what I'm saying, this place is? It didn't dawn on me until later. You have to understand how they're telling you to go to this place. If they're saying, hey, try this, or oh, maybe this, they don't know, they just want to help. And so what I realized at first, I'm like, frustrated. But then when I realized that no, this is just their culture. They're so nice, they don't want to say no. Like they don't know the answer, but they want to try and help you anyway. And I feel like just certain little small things like that about the culture help you understand why the women are so approachable and nice. Even if they don't like you, they're not going to be rude. You know what I mean? If they shoot you down or whatever. So you could feel a lot more comfortable doing that than you could in America, for example. You on mute. You on mute.
Okay, yeah, I would agree. You can keep your ego and get rejected in South America. You know, in the United States, you get rejected, man. They'll make you feel like you ain't shit. You know, so in South America, if you get rejected, you can be like, okay, that's fine. She just wasn't interested. Let me go to the next.
Exactly.
Stateside chicks will make you want to quit.
You're
So
right.
they'll make you want to quit. So how significant? So you already brought this next question up. You had to learn the local language. I was about to ask you how important is the language barrier in dating, but um, there's just certain things that you can't communicate properly through the translator. It's just good that you learn her language. So, what are some social norms in dating that are specifically or unique to Colombia? What are some
Mm,
things that are normal there?
like if a girl in the States, if you invite her out on a date and say, you know what, let's go to this bar and let's go grab obrigado. Obrigada. if you um if you ask her, my bad, my girl was bringing me a beer real quick, but if you ask a chick in the United States, hey, let's go out to a bar and grab a drink, and she responds with, okay, but is it okay if I bring my friends or my cousin or whatever, you're gonna be looking at her like, okay, you're just trying to take advantage. You know, you see an open wallet, so while it's open, you're trying to get as much as you can out of this transaction. At least that's the way that I would look at it, but that's actually the norm in Colombia, especially for a woman that's going out on a date with you for the first time. She's probably going to want to do it in a group setting to get comfortable with you. Then after that, it's all good. So that was definitely something that I noticed affected the dating culture. So you got to keep that in mind. Don't come with the American mentality. Understand, hey, you in Colombia, this is normal here. You know what I mean?
So did you have to pay for her friends too, or is it just they
Yeah,
pay?
yeah, I paid. Dude, I mean, it's nothing. I think we went to like I think I've done this maybe twice, and I don't remember spending more than 50 or $60 for all three of us. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And then at the same time, you kind of look like the man. You at the table, and you the only one with all of these chicks showing up. You know what I mean? So
I've done it. They tried to
yeah,
get me for 350. I wasn't going for it though because I didn't know that ahead of time. I had to have some guaranteed waiting on me for that. That
fact.
happened in Paraguay. They tried to get me with that one. So what about Brazil? What is something that's socially just a normal thing in Brazil?
Kissing on the first date is super, super normal. Women being affectionate, dude. It don't even have to be a first date. You could literally eyeball a chick across the room at the club, and 5 minutes later, y'all are making out in front of everybody. And to me, that was like the weirdest shit ever when I first
Yeah,
got here. Sure.
yeah,
Jay.
yeah. I noticed that. When I first noticed that happened, a chick tried to kiss me just immediately like that. I told her I was like, like that's kind of fast. I was like, I want to kiss you, but like we just started talking like 2 minutes ago, and they were
Right.
telling me like, oh, like in Brazil, like we don't look at it like that. It just happens on the spot. You could, hey, how are you doing? I thought I saw you. I thought you were beautiful. Yeah, let's exchange numbers. What are you doing later on? All right, I'll see you then. Then you kiss. That could be a whole 45-second conversation. She wants you to tongue kiss her.
Man, that the other thing too is like it is not abnormal here to meet a woman and go on a date the exact same day.
Very
Whereas,
normal.
yeah, like in the States, you know what I mean? You get a chick's number, you gotta text her up, you gotta follow all of these stupid rules. I can't double text. I have to wait for her to respond back so I don't look thirsty. It's all of these little games that you gotta play where I feel like the culture here is a lot more forward. There's no games, it's all real.
And one thing that I didn't like about the American chicks is, dudes and women would make excuses for them, and they would say like, "Oh, like maybe they're busy. They're motherfucker. They ain't doing shit. They are not busy. They are just purposely ignoring you. They ain't. They once they leave work, their life is over with. But you can meet a chick. South America has spoiled me in this way. If I can't get a date on the first day that we meet, I'm not. I'm not like I'm like she doesn't like me like that.
Right.
You know that I've came, but I'm in Sao Paulo. It's not like that. In Rio, it's like that. But in Sao Paulo, I'm not kind of seeing it the same way. Uh, I'm going on dates, but I'm having to talk to them for a couple days as opposed to Rio. Like you said, you meet them on the street. Okay, it's 2 in the afternoon. Let's meet at 6 o'clock. They'll be there. More than likely, they'll be there. But it's got me spoiled. That's another reason why I couldn't adapt when I was in the States because like the whole game. No, I'm not into that. Like, listen, I
Right.
just got back from Brazil and everywhere else. Let's meet later on. I don't have time. Don't ask me all these stupid questions. So, what about traditional gender roles? In like, what are the gender roles you would say that you notice in Colombia that you didn't see in the States?
You just said it, traditional gender roles, where that feels like a it feels like a dying concept. You know what I mean? In the States, to be able to take on a woman and say, hey, I have enough money to hold down this whole household. You don't have to work. I hear many women say, even if they were in that situation, they would still want to work because they don't want to depend on a man. They don't want to, they want to make their own money. Yeah, it's just, you don't see those things here. Women are okay with saying, you know what? I'm just going to hold down the house. You go be the man, bring the money home, and I'll take care of everything else. And I appreciate that. Honestly, that's what I'm looking for. You know what I mean? I was looking for a woman to be a homemaker. I'm not looking for a partner. I don't need your fucking money. I don't need a business partner. You know what I'm saying? I need a real woman. So
Agreed. Agreed. And that's just something that in the States, that's not really a thing.